Hey there, welcome to my channel, String Things by Mel. My name is Melissa. I'm a stay-at-home mom living in Vancouver, Canada. And no, this is not a podcast episode. um, I am kind of doing another vlog of knit something with me. This is totally a spontaneous, impulsive knit that I have cast on today. Today is Saturday, September 2nd. So my sister messaged me this morning about the Beyoncé concert that we will be attending on the 11th. My ticket was a birthday present from my sister. My birthday was back in April. But yeah, Renaissance tour. Wow, stumbling here. So I hadn't put much thought into what I was going to wear. I was actually thinking about wearing my mini mock neck tank. However, my sister sent me a little article that Beyonce's got this birthday wish of wanting all attendees to wear silver for those attending her concerts from, I guess, during the Virgo season, let's call it. So it's the end of August into mid-September-ish is Virgo season, and yeah, her wish is for people to wear silver. Now, my immediate thought was silver's really not my color. I'm a warm tones girl. I like the golden shades personally on myself, but I thought it's a concert. Let's have some fun. However, I didn't really want to spend any money or go out shopping, so I decided to see maybe I could make something. At first, I thought, I don't have anything silvery. I'm probably gonna have to go to Michael's. And then I remembered that I have some Knitting for Olive pure silk in my stash in the color Haze. And here it is here. Now, it's not metallic in any way, and it's a little bit blown out looking right now, but it's pretty much silver, and the fact that I don't have to buy anything is a bonus. Plus, I didn't want to buy anything metallic that I was just going to wear once. Like, really, metallic is very costumey for me anyways, so I've decided that I'm going to make a sleeveless top. So first, okay, it's the 2nd. The concert's on the 11th. So 9 days to make a top. So I need something that is, well, not too chunky weight, but not fingering. Something with an open stitch pattern, like some laciness going on, is going to help speed up the process. So I've decided to knit the Rota sleeveless top. It's a pattern from Irene Lynn, and this is what I have. So this is the back panel, and I'm almost at the point where I will need to do some armhole shaping. That is my Rhoda sleeveless top, my Beyoncé top. So, crossing fingers, I get this done in time. No idea what I'm gonna style it with, so that's something I'm gonna have to think over the next week. But stay tuned, and hope you enjoy following along the process of making this top. I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, bit of a time jump. It's now Monday, September 4th, and I'm kind of a crazy woman. So let me show you what I've done in 2 days, because I started this on Saturday. So it's at the point to join the front and back and join in the round, but I'm not going to do that. because I've had a change of heart, change of plan, and I will be frogging this. I'm sorry if you can hear planes and stuff. I don't have the proper mic plugged in and windows are open. But yeah, I'm going to frog this because had this crazy idea. Well, okay, let's take it back a bit. I was thinking about how I would actually style this top, and like I think it's a very nice looking design, but I have sort of some issues with open stitch work tops. So I love the look of lacy tops. They're beautiful, they're delicate and feminine. This one is not as feminine as other ones I've seen. However, with all those openings, for some modesty, I would wear a top underneath, which then kind of defeats the purpose of a lacy top being like a summer or warm weather garment, because you need to wear something underneath. You know, in some occasions, maybe I would just wear a bra underneath, but day to day, like I feel like I need a cami underneath. And then I had this wild idea after seeing what my sister was buying to wear to the Beyoncé concert. I thought, well, I don't know how I'm going to style this, what pants I'd wear. I really don't want to spend any money or buy new clothing. I thought, well, what if I turn this into a dress? But then I still have that issue of, well, now I need to wear a full slip underneath because I wouldn't want to wear this and have my underwear showing, right? So I liked the idea of a dress though, because then I don't have to worry about which pants I'm going to wear. So I decided to rethink and go back to my whole concept, my philosophy of, you know, what works in my wardrobe, what works for my style. I don't always follow that strict criteria because, you know, there are special occasion items. This dress for a Beyoncé concert kind of falls under a special occasion item, but I still want it to be somewhat true to my style, even though the color isn't really my usual color palette. I mean, is silver in anybody's usual color palette? So I decided to purchase the Audrey top pattern from PetiteKnit. I think the neckline, well, it's very on trend. I think it goes with when Beyoncé became Beyoncé. I mean, like when she was on her own after Destiny's Child. It's kind of like going back to my youth, that, you know, square neckline. And I'm just gonna keep knitting as long as I can with all the yarn I have, and see how long of a dress I can make with the yarn that I do have in stash. And if it ends up being too short, then I will purchase additional skeins of yarn. And in that case, like, I'm okay purchasing more yarn to make a dress that I am more likely to actually wear again. So I already checked, so before I like really jumped into this idea, I already checked this yarn is in stock at my local yarn shop. Whether the dye lot matches, I don't really care too much about that, but there's plenty in stock. But I'm not gonna go buy additional skeins yet because I'm still working on the first couple right now. And yeah, if it looks like it's going to be too mini of a mini dress, then I will go buy more yarn, but I can make some calculations based on what I've done, hopefully, to figure out how much more yarn I actually need, so I only make one trip to the shop. So I do kind of have a backup dress outfit that I'd wear. I mean, it's not really silver, it's more like heather gray, but it's better than nothing, and the cut, the style of that dress would be appropriate to wear to a Beyoncé concert. So that is like my backup. But I'll just show you what I've done. So this morning I cast on with a provisional cast on for the Audrey top because it's worked bottom up. But because I'm playing some yarn chicken and trying to get it as much length as I can, I did a provisional cast on. I worked about 4 rounds and split for the front and back. And I've actually already finished the front. It's just looks like a big trapezoid right now. Got the stitches on hold for the I-cord straps that are done later. And I'm now working on the back panel. And I'm hoping I can finish that today. Like, perfect world is that I'd finish like the top, including the I-cord straps, and have the next week, because the concert's on the 11th, today's the 4th, the next week to just work as many rounds of stockinette as I can before the concert. So I cast on the extra smallest size, because the type of straps that these are really not going to be able to wear a bra. And I don't like strapless bras, so I'm gonna just not wear a bra, and that's okay. It's like a special occasion. I'm going to a concert. Like, I'm not very busty, so I'm comfortable enough to not wear a bra. There are certain tops that I have that are kind of like don't wear a bra, but yeah. So I know I've said that I don't really do the no bra thing, but you know, for special instances, I will do it. So I've cast on the extra small for my bust, but since this is a dress and I have an hourglass shape, going by my bust circumference is not going to go over my hips. So the plan is, once I get the straps on, and also, you know, take into account a bit of stretch or growth of the fabric, I'm going to do some decreases to get some waist shaping in there because I am an hourglass shape, and then some increases, but not too much, because I want some ease, but I want the fabric to still kind of hug my curves, and then just go straight down from my hips from there. So the difference in my measurements, it's like almost, I think it's like 15 centimeters. So from my bust down to my waist is about 15 centimeters. Is that right? Yes. And then to my hips from my waist, that's 30 centimeters. But I'm gonna have some ease, so I'm not gonna make like that much decreasing and increasing. I also need to be able to slip this dress like on me, so like if I made the waist too tight, it might not like fit over my bust kind of thing. But yeah, that is my crazy idea. That is my crazy plan that I'm working on right now. I'm lucky that I have been able to work on it as much as I can. I've got actually quite a migraine right now, and my husband just left to do some grocery shopping, and he did take Darcy, so I have a little bit of time on my own to continue this. Yeah, and we were out yesterday at my sister-in-law, so that's why there's no footage from yesterday, because we were having a nice family time yesterday. But yeah, I don't know how much more if I'm gonna put the camera on again today with my migraine going on right now. But yeah, that is the crazy plan now, to knit the Audrey top, but as a mini dress in 1 week. So I will check back in with you guys when I've made some more progress, and hopefully when my migraine has turned into just a regular headache. Okay, bye. Hey guys, this is what I have after 1 day of knitting on Monday. It's now Tuesday morning, Hey Darcy, I'll be right there. We're all both under the weather a bit, so we're just hanging out on the couch, which is perfect for sitting and knitting. So last night I actually clipped, this is a clamp hanger, and I clamped it at the top here because I don't want the straps or the very top of this to stretch out too much. So I clamped it right here and then light water spray the garment and let it hang overnight, and that's my plan moving forward. Each night I'm going to water spray whatever new knit or new portion I've knit up and let that hang and just kind of, you know, speed up the stretching and blocking process as I make this, because I have a feeling, well, I wouldn't do a full submerge wash and block. I would do a spray block of some sort for this, given that it's pure silk. But I have tried this on. The straps, they are not actually Kitchener stitched in yet. I just have them on little clips because right now they are a tad short. But I'm guessing with more weight, as this actually becomes more of a dress, those straps are gonna probably hang and stretch out a bit more on my body. So I'm going to wait until this is done, and then I will Kitchener stitch in the straps. But at this point, it's fitting really well. So where I'm at, this just covers my bust right now. So this could be like a sports bra length, let's call it. But I still have a long ways to go. I'm still on the first 2 balls, but getting pretty close to the end. And yeah, so now I'm just going to be knitting around and around and around as quickly as I can without hurting myself, of course, and see how far I can get until next Monday on concert day. So again, today's Tuesday, September 5th. Happy Wednesday. It is day 3. Well, the start of day 3. So yesterday, Tuesday, I was able to work from this marker here, well, to here. And so that's about 16 centimeters worth of work, which that's pretty good for a day. It's really nice just working around and stockinette. I'm using metal needles, so stitches are going quicker and pretty smoothly, and my gauge is okay because I've sized down a little bit in needles. And this is looking at it from the back. Sorry if you hear some TV sounds. We just got back from first day of preschool, so Darcy's having a little bit of a snack and TV time. But yeah, so this is 3 balls worth of work. I'm going to now take this down and try it on. So I did my little bit of a spritz of water on the new work to kind of block it out, and as I said before, expedite a little bit of the stretching to also get some more length. And when I was at this point, it was kind of like a sports bra length. So this one should hopefully be just past where my natural waist is, but I'm going to try this on and see how it's fitting so far. Hello. Okay, so I've got this on. I have no bra on. So yeah, I'm not very busty when I'm not wearing my pet bra. So 3 balls worth of, yarn, and it's pretty much like a top. So if you were making, I guess, extra small, or maybe even extra small, you probably only need 3 balls of the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which is what I'm using, held double. But as you know in this video, I'm trying to make a dress. So I'm just trying to make sure I don't show a little too, I don't have any nipple covers on. So I'm at like my belly button right now. So I'm going to explain a little bit of the shaping that I've done that's not in the Audrey top pattern. So where you split for the front and back is pretty close to where my full bust or my largest circumference is. So at that point, I felt like I needed to do some decreases. So I did some fairly rapid decreases here. So I could get a little bit closer fit here, and then just left it, because I think that's a really good line to follow my natural shape. And then at my kind of natural waistline, so my body, it goes in and then comes out. So I did the same rate of, so I did some increases in the same rate of decreases that I did here. So I did an increase every other row. And so there's, you know, 2 here. So there's a pair on each side for a total of 3 rounds of increases. So that gets me back up to the full bust circumference size there. And then every inch, so I'm doing a slow rate of increases after I did those rapid increases. Every inch I'm doing a pair of increases. And so that's to hopefully like bring the fabric out towards my butt. I have returned. Okay, so so had my decreases here, knit even till I hit just above or around where my natural waist is, did my increases out, and then now every inch I do another set of increases. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to work to my full hip circumference. So not necessarily where my hip bones are, but where the apex of my butt is. So I'm working towards that circumference. And so I'm doing a pair of increases every inch. And so I'm going to do a total of 4 rounds of those increases. And on the 3rd and 4th round of those increases, I'm going to add an extra set of increases in the back, just so I can accommodate the curve of my butt here, instead of just going, you know, adding the increases out. I also want more fabric in the back. And I think that should be some nice shaping that way, because yeah, I think I have enough fabric in the front, so if I eat a little or drink some beer, which makes me bloat, you know how it goes, the fabric should kind of drape away and over the front area, but I do need extra fabric to go over my butt. And so I'm kind of aiming for neutral ease, or yeah, I'm trying to essentially knit to my body measurements, because I know that this will grow a little bit. Yeah, because I don't want negative ease, because I don't want to kind of promote the stretching out of this fabric, because it's not going to really spring back. It's 100% silk. So that's where I'm at. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to be adding those extra increases in the back, but yeah, I will be joining my 4th and final ball that I have from my stash, which I don't think it's gonna get me to my crotch. So based on how much that ball works up in terms of fabric, sorry, I'm like pointing the camera at my crotch, sorry. I will then calculate how many additional balls of yarn I need to go out and purchase. And depending on how quickly I knit, that's something I could go to the yarn shop either tomorrow or Friday at the latest to get the additional balls. And yeah, still see how far I can get. And we have kind of a busy weekend. Like we're supposed to go out and hang out with friends, so might be putting in some extra hours at nighttime after Darcy goes to bed to get some more knitting in. So yeah, haven't done any knitting yet today out at school with Darcy, but there we go. That is where I'm at. I'm feeling slightly nervous, but also just really excited to see how far I can go. I haven't had any pain in my hands from knitting up, which is great, which means like the tension I'm working at, the needle size I have is from working really well. So there it is. That is my Audrey top but a dress in progress. Day 3, here we go. Decided to drive out to the yarn store. I'm parked outside of Wet Coast Rolls right now. Sorry, it's noisy. I've got the windows cracked open because I've got the truck off because Darcy has fallen asleep on the way out here. So I guess lucky for me, I do have the project with me. So I think I'll just sit and knit here for like half an hour, and then I'll wake her up and go into the store because obviously I cannot just leave her in the car alone. So I'm gonna sit and knit here, and hopefully a meter guy comes. I'll pay for parking, but I'm gonna risk not paying for parking, so I'm just gonna sit here and knit and then go in the store. So I determined that I think one ball equals about 10 centimeters of the dress, and that's a very conservative estimate. So I'm going to purchase, I think, 6 more balls, and if it's too many, then I can return them. If it's not enough, which I feel like it will, I made a measurement based on a dress that I have that goes past my knees. Yeah, this is now turning into a maxi or midi dress now. Wow. Which also means I need to kind of knit an entire ball every day to get it to that length in time for the concert. So yeah, I'm a little ambitious, hey? Okay, so I'm going to sit knit for 30 minutes and I will check back in with you guys later. And yeah, if you notice that the quality of the footage is different, it's because I'm using my phone. Alright, see ya. Hey guys, we're back from our little venture out to West Coast. Sorry, I live on the West Coast. Wet Coast Wolves. One of my local yarn shops. And so yeah, so Darcy ended up napping for about an hour. Time just flew by, but she kind of naturally woke up on her own, which was perfect. And she woke up and I was like, hey, you ready to go into the yarn store? And she said, yeah. So that was good. She woke up in a good mood. Sometimes it can be hit or miss how they wake up. So I bought 6 more balls of Knitting for All of Pure Silk in the color Haze. The original yarn that I'm working with I purchased nearly 2 years ago, so finding the same dye lot was not really something I was going to try to do. But just looking at these in natural light up against my work, I think it is a pretty good match. And it's at the point of my dress where I'm now working kind of the lower part of it. So even if it was a little bit different, I don't think it's gonna really matter or bug me. So, and while I was knitting in the car, I didn't have another stitch marker to mark where I started, but since the start of today, I have already knit half of a ball. So this is about 22 grams. So I've knit just over half a ball, and that is about, actually, do I have a measuring tape? I do. measure it. Okay, so I knit about 10 centimeters or 4 inches today and half a ball. So knitting a full ball in a day seems like a reasonable goal for today, and I'm also really glad that I got out to the yarn shop because I just imagined myself knitting tonight after Darcy goes to bed and running out and still having like an hour and a half left before I need to go to bed to knit, and wouldn't be able to because I didn't have enough yarn. But anyways, I bought 6 balls, and that was a conservative estimate. Like 1 ball of yarn I think goes a little bit farther than 10 centimeters, but that is okay. If I happen to have any left over, I can exchange them for store credit, or actually there is some tin silk mohair I am planning to buy from Wet Coast Wools relatively soon, so I can exchange for one of those. So these go for about $16 each. When I originally purchased, I bought this yarn from Black Sheep Yarns, which is a yarn shop in Port Moody, and at that time the price of this yarn was $14.95 each. Now this is $15.95. So yeah, it's gone up $1, which, yeah, inflation, whatever. I need to turn the camera off because Darcy's getting a little whiny, and I think it's about that time where I have to start prepping dinner anyway, so I will see you guys later. Darcy, you want to wave goodbye? Here.
Bye-bye, Mommy.
Good job. Hello. It's Thursday. The date? The 7th. But anyways, it's day 4 of the making of my Audrey top button dress for the Beyoncé concert, and I knit about 18 centimeters yesterday, and yeah, that seemed like a lot. I mean, I did get to sit in the car for an hour knitting before we head into Wet Coast Wools. So I've got sorry, I'm gonna be folding some laundry, so it's a bit messy in here. I've done just maybe like a couple, 3 centimeters at most of knitting so far today. I'm gonna try to take it easy because I am starting to feel a little bit of like fatigue in my right hand, specifically a little bit in my wrist, so that's not good. But I've done some estimating of how much more I need to knit, and guys, I feel like it's doable. Like, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. As long as nothing goes terribly wrong, like, I'm gonna have a midi length dress to wear for Monday night. So let me show you what I've got over here on my bed. So I've laid my dress on top of this green polka dot dress, which is a midi length. It goes past my knees by at least a couple inches, and so that is my goal length that I want to do. And so all I have left to knit to reach that length is just past 40 centimeters. So that would be the finished length. So I plan on doing a fold over hem, so I would need to knit a few more centimeters so that I can fold over the hem. But so today is day 4, which means I still have tonight to knit. And so really I have, okay, so today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I could even have a rest day Monday, but I could include Monday. But if I knit 10 centimeters a day and save Monday for finishing off the hem, that seems very doable considering how much I've been knitting since I started. So I'll show you here. So the top to this point was all done on Monday, day 1. And then here to this purple marker was day 2 on Tuesday. And purple marker to the green one was everything that was done yesterday.
One piece, Mama?
Oh, the next episode? Sure. One sec, sweetie. Okay. Yeah, Darcy's getting her TV time right now. Yeah, so from here to here is about 15 centimeters worth of work. And then, as I mentioned, or did I mention? No, I did not mention. Sorry, that's an outtake. From purple marker to green marker is about 18 centimeters. So 10 centimeters in one day doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, so I'm now working off of 2 balls at a time. So, because this is held double. When I was working this section, I was working off of just a single ball and pulling from the outside and the inside at the same time. Also because I had no more yarn, so that's why I was doing it that way. So I'm going to use 2 balls, see how far that gets me, and then if it's close to near the end, then switch to maybe only using off of 1 ball, because if there is a chance that I can exchange or return some of this yarn to get my tin silk mohair, that is what I'd like to do, because then I get to save a bit of money and also don't have extra pure silk in this color, which I don't want. But yeah, that is where I'm at. It's pretty exciting. The fit is pretty good. Here, let me flip this over so you can see my face now. Okay, so fit-wise, it is like just come around my butt at this point for length, and it looks like the fit's pretty good. Like, obviously I don't want this to be a body contrast. This isn't a material that's going to stretch out and spring back, so not making it with negative ease. I think I've got a nice drape in the back when the dress is long enough, like actually covers my crotch and my butt. I will show you guys how it looks on my body, but at this point it's kind of not appropriate for YouTube at this length. So I'm thinking, though, I keep thinking about whether I made my increases at my waist a little bit too soon, but my dress sits relatively high, including the underarm area, and I tried it on with a strapless bra, which I forgot I had one, so I will wear a strapless bra under this. I was gonna plan to wear just like covers, but I think a full bra will be better. I don't find them very comfortable, so this is why I avoid strapless bras, but I'll do it for Beyoncé. So I actually have some space between the fabric and where the bra starts, so I can actually lower or increase the length of my straps by about 2 centimeters, and I think that's going to make me feel better about where those increases actually land and better follow the curve of my body in that area. And then that might actually help the back look a little bit better in terms of curving around my butt as well. So the reason why I did them at the point I did, I thought the fabric was going to stretch out a bit more since I've been hanging it up every night, but I'm also careful not to just completely drench it. I don't want to like fully immerse it in water, so I won't be doing a full submerge wash, and I've just been spraying it just so it's like lightly saturated but not soaking. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave it off there because my voice is starting to go. I think I must be battling the same thing that Darcy has, so I'm going to go finish my coffee, hang out with Darcy, do some playing, something also to distract me and prevent me from trying to pick up and knit more, because I need to give my wrist a little bit of a break for today. And knowing that I only need to knit about 10 centimeters a day, I can easily do that after she goes to bed tonight. So I will see you guys later. Bye. Good morning. Super quick update, guys, because I don't have a lot of time, but it's Saturday and it's a dress that's an appropriate length to show. So it is about 10 centimeters or so above my knee at this point. I would like to get you know, about 10 centimeters below the knee, because I think I'd feel more comfortable wearing it as a midi dress. Although looking at it now, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd get more use out of it if it was a longer dress, because this could be something, if it's longer, I feel like it's better for like evening event, potentially. So that is what I will do. I do have the actual strapless bra on that I plan on wearing at the concert, but I think the fit is really good. I am going to lengthen the straps by a couple centimeters. I'm a little bit self-conscious of this area. It's, you know, it hugs, my butt curve, but also my belly curve, but can't do much about that. That's just the way my body is shaped. But yeah, getting a little bit nervous about whether I'm going to make it on time. Thursday, I was so tired that I like knit the 10 centimeters and went to bed. Like I was feeling tired at 9:30, pushed through till about 10 o'clock to get the 10 centimeter quota and went to bed. And then yesterday I knit, I felt like I caught up, but when I measured it, it was only 12 centimeters. So I'm really, you know, cutting it close because it is Saturday and we are heading out to Chilliwack. So Darcy and my husband are out. Darcy has soccer this morning. So that's why I need to like get in the shower and get ready because shortly after we head out to Chilliwack for our friend's birthday. It's our 40th birthday today. It's going to be 29 degrees out in Chilliwack. So I'm going to wear my mini mock neck tank and some flowy pants. We're going to be hanging out at a brewery. But yeah, this is how the dress is looking so far, guys. Yeah, I'm actually because I have my tan still. I actually don't mind this color on my body. It's again, it's not like a metallic silver or anything like that, but definitely leans silver, and I don't mind it. It's definitely been growing on me. Da-da, da-da, pun intended. But yeah, Saturday, September 9th, it's actually a dress. So even if I don't hit my goal of the midi length, I will do maybe some sort of quick bind off to get it to a finished stage for the concert and then go back and add more length. But I do have the 7th and 8th ball attached, and so yeah, that 5th and 6th ball went by pretty quickly, and it was almost, I think almost 20 centimeters worth of work that those two balls covered. So my estimate of a ball equals about 10 centimeters. Actually turned out a little bit more accurate than I thought, but yes, I am rambling now. I gotta go get ready, do something about this hair and all that. So I will see you guys a little later. Hey guys, happy Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon. Yesterday we were out for my friend's, one of our friends' 40th birthday. We were out in Chilliwack. It was great. We went to one of the breweries out there, and being in Chilliwack, it's like lots of space. We were at outdoor picnic tables and like playground, chicken coop, things for kids to do while you're just hanging out, chatting away. So that was really good. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to drive out there from Vancouver. And so I brought my project along with me, and I was able to knit almost the whole quota in the drive there and back. I had to be very careful because knitting in the car actually makes me a bit car sick, but I managed to do it. But when we got back, because it was very warm and having beer in the sun, we were quite tired. My husband and I were in bed by 9:30. So I only knit about 9 centimeters yesterday, so a bit behind and have to do some catch up. And it's also Sunday, so it's day 7 of working on the dress, but I have made it to my knees at least. Not covering my knees yet, but I'm there. So yeah, now we're back home chilling. My husband's watching football. Hey! Oh, hi, sweetie. And we were at another birthday party today, except this time a kid's birthday. One of our friend's daughter's birthday. And there you she might be a little bit wired from having a cupcake, a slice of cake, and other candy as well. But yeah, today is the last big push of knitting, definitely to the end of these 2 balls here. So this is still ball number 7 and 8 that I'm working on. I think by the end of these balls that will be enough, and I have not decided what sort of bind off method I'm going to do yet. Yeah, I'm still undecided. I'm thinking about just leaving it kind of raw and just binding off as is, but do a purl row, a knit row, a purl row, and bind off, and that might help it prevent from rolling up too much. I'm also thinking about doing proper like fold over hem because it's nice and clean. That one's a little bit harder in terms of kind of estimating how much yarn I need, because if I can knit this with just 8 balls of yarn and not have to crack open a new one, that would be nice. But also I have the yarn, so why limit myself like that? So we'll see how far I am when I get to the end of these balls, and if I've got to crack into the 9th ball, I'll have to do that. But fit wise, I'm feeling really good about this. There are a couple things that maybe I would change next time, but I won't go into that yet, because I should get this off my body and get knitting. But here we are. You can kind of see my progress. Stitch markers back there. Sorry, you can hear a funny sound. Darcy got a toy in her goodie bag from the party, but yeah, I've made it to my knee, which is pretty exciting, but my ideal length is going to be, you know, as I said before, about 10 centimeters past my knee, and so I'm gonna have to do maybe slightly more aggressive blocking. So far I've just been hanging it up, or more like draping it over a bar and spraying this till it's, you know, damp but not saturated. So I might actually use my clamp hanger and actually like use that to pull down the fabric more, like add some weight, get gravity to help me more to block out and get a little bit more length. Or let's see, like fatigue wise, I feel like I could stay up later, considering I went to bed at 9:30 yesterday. Tomorrow maybe I'd have time to work on hem, but ideally I want to try to get it all done tonight so it's blocking, because Darcy does have preschool tomorrow and no guarantees that she'll be comfortable enough for me to leave her. So okay, hi sweetie. Time for me to check out. But yeah, happy Sunday. Hey guys, thank you so much if you followed along the process and the making of my Audrey top butta dress. If you just happen to skip through to this point, that's all good too. I know we don't all have an hour plus to sit down and watch a full video, but it's time to go through all the facts and thoughts about this whole thing. So I used approximately, oh, before I get even into that, I should just say the concert was amazing. Beyonce was absolutely stunning. Yeah, flawless, that woman. Funny thing is, I'm not actually a huge Beyonce fan, so I didn't actually know all the songs that played, but they were all very danceable. I knew a few words here and there, but regardless, I had a lot of fun going with my sister. Thank you again to my sister who gave me that ticket for my birthday present, which was back in April, by the way. But yes. So, okay, the thoughts, the facts. I used 400 grams or 8 balls of the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Haze. I actually have about 4 grams left, so I really did need all those 8 balls. I do have 2 spare, which I am planning to exchange for some tin silk mohair from Wet Coast Wools. So I am excited to at least have that to use towards another project. Now, fit wise, construction wise, I'm quite happy. I'm quite pleased with myself and pretty proud that I was able to complete a midi length dress for the concert. Now, Sunday night, I stayed up well past midnight working on this. I got all the knitting done. But then the fold over hem, was kind of frantically sewing that in on a Monday morning. Thankfully, Darcy was comfortable enough for me to leave her at preschool, so I kind of rushed home and finished it just in time to spritz it, hang it up, and go pick up Darcy. Today, she's at preschool again, but it's a full session, so but of course, video editing, because that's what I was doing before this, always takes longer than you think it's going to. So I have just enough time to record this before I need to head out and pick up Darcy from preschool. But yeah, let's go over a recap of the construction of my dress. So I followed the instructions for size extra, extra small, so the smallest size offering for the Audrey top. I did a crochet chain provisional cast on, and that's because this is a top that's worked bottom up. Considering I don't really enjoy working bottom up, and I was working towards a particular length, I was more comfortable working top down in order to achieve that. So provisional cast on, I worked about 4 rounds until it was time to split for the front and the back. And then the whole top section is done as per the pattern instructions. Now, I did hit gauge in my swatch, but I feel like maybe once I was actually knitting, and maybe because of the nature of this yarn being 100% silk, I felt like it had already grown a bit. So what I did, because at the point of where I split is where my full bust, my larger circumference is, I decided to go ahead and start doing my decreases so that I would have nice snug fit and towards my waistline. So once I picked up the stitches from my provisional cast on, I knit 1 round even and then did my decreases. Now everything I'm talking about in terms of my shaping, this is not in the Audrey pattern, so that's why I'm freely sharing all of these details with you. And this is for my size, so I will put my body measurements at the very bottom of the description if you want to have that information. And if I remember, I will measure this dress. Should have measured it before wearing it, but I'll have some measurement details below. If you don't want to see that, stop scrolling when you see the detailed measurements section in the description box. So after I picked up my stitches from my provisional cast on, knit 1 complete round, I marked off, my beginning of the round was at one side. I also put a marker at the other side and did a pair of increases on each side. So I don't necessarily like when decreases are right next to each other, so there is a couple stitches in between. So do a decrease, knit a stitch, there's my marker, knit a stitch, and then do my decrease. And I did a total of 3 rounds of decreases with 1 even round in between. So that means decrease round, knit around, decrease round, knit around. So there's a total of 12 stitches decreased from the full bust circumference. And then work that. I don't know the exact measurement in terms of distance, but worked it to where my natural waist is and where I wanted to start doing increases. Because I do have an hourglass figure, so that's why I wanted to decrease and now work the increases for my hip and like full butt measurements. So at the same rate I did my decreases, I did a section of increases. So again, a pair of increases on each side and every other row. Now, once I did those increases, I'm back up to the full bust circumference, which is not large enough to go over my hips. So I did further increasing, again done in pairs on each side, and I did them at increments of 1 inch. Now, my increases to get over my hips are done over a total length of 4 inches, and that's just based on my body shape. So that is something that you will have to kind of try on and assess if you're going to do Audrey chop as a dress. Now, because of the shape of my body, we are, remember, 3-dimensional. I didn't want to do my increases just on the sides. So in the middle back, I kind of picked like the middle third, and in that area, I added some further increases. So there's just a little bit extra fabric or more fabric to go like over my butt. So there's a total of 4 increase rounds over those 4 inches. So the first increase round is just the pair of increases on either side, work 1 inch. The second increase round, again, a pair of increases on the side, work 1 inch. And then the third increase row, again, is a pair of increases on the side, but also a pair of increases, or a total of 2 increases in the back. And then the fourth and final increase round, which is at the, kind of hits at the largest part of my butt, my full hip circumference. That is again another pair of increases on the side, but then a total of 4 increases in the back area. So the number of increases is 4, 4, 6, and 8 in that section. And then from there, there's no more shaping. I just worked straight or even all the way down to the hem. Now, I was getting pretty close to the end of the 7 1/8 balls of yarn that I was working with, and I kind of had decided that I didn't want to crack into the additional balls of yarn that I had. So I did, I weighed my yarn. So when I was working around, I weighed my ball of yarn, or the 2 balls of yarn that I was using, did a round, and the difference was about 2 grams. So each round was using about 2 grams worth of yarn, and at that point I had about 20 grams left. So from there, that's how I decided, like, oh, I need to do my fold over hem now. So my hem is, I think it's 5 rounds. Then I do my purl round, and then I did 4 rounds of stockinette, and I also switched to a slightly smaller needle size for the inside. So here's the right side is the same needle size as the rest of my body. So for my case, it's 3.75 millimeters because I was using metal needles, so that's why I sized down a bit. And then the inside, I used 3.5 millimeter needles, and then I hand sewed the inside of that, and that took a long time. But yeah, that's pretty much the construction of the dress in a nutshell. Now, how did the dress perform? I felt very comfortable all night long. I didn't even think about the dress as I was wearing it. Perhaps because I was just having such a good time. Um, but yeah, it's the circumference at the bottom, like in terms of walking, like obviously, like I can feel the fabric, but I can't take super long strides. So I can feel it. So maybe next time I would consider adding a slit to the dress, or even like a notch in the back center, just to give it a little bit more ease there for walking. But it's not terrible. I mean, I can show you guys, like I can walk pretty normal. So those are regular strides there. So it's not that bad. Like I'm not constricted in any way, but I can feel it. And if that's something that bothers you while you're wearing the dress, then maybe a slit or make your dress a bit more A-line, depending on which kind of fabric you're knitting up. The fabric. So unfortunately, after just one full day's worth of wearing this, this has stretched. This has grown. I knew that that was a possibility with this silk yarn. I've heard other people use this same yarn and express concerns about stretching. And even though I knew that, I still wanted to use this yarn, and I have some ideas of how to remedy where it has grown out in my case. So where it's grown is in this area here. So when I was first wearing it, so the top of my strapless bra is right here, and the dress was like, I wouldn't say a full inch above where my bra was, but it was definitely covering it. Now I'm in the danger zone of my bra might show because the dress and my bra are level now. And that could be, also because of the straps growing a bit. So the straps, highly recommend that you make them at minimum the length set in the pattern, because otherwise you won't fit this dress over your head, because the length of the straps and this front and back panel, that is your head hole, and I have a small head. So it's not that it's a struggle for me to get on, but I also am very conscious of not rubbing clothing onto my face if I have foundation or makeup on. And so I felt like I was kind of like maybe pulling and stretching it a bit every time I put it over my head, which with this silk yarn, this silk fabric, that's a little bit of an issue. And then I ended up not making the straps as or adjusting them, like making them longer. As I said, I think I said I was going to make them at least 2 centimeters longer. I'm really glad I didn't. Because one, it stretched out a bit, and two, I actually didn't have enough yarn to knit a longer I-cord. So in the pattern, it does tell you how much yarn to leave yourself and cut off. And it was fine on one side, but I guess I didn't measure accurately on the other strap, so I didn't have enough yarn. So I would add an extra like 20 centimeters just in case, like if you think you're going to be fiddling around with the length of your strap, just for like margin of error and anything like that. That would be my recommendation for the straps. Now, my remedy for this growth and stretching out in here is that I am going to go back and use not my clear knitting elastic, because I don't know if that's going to be strong enough, but I have elastic that you use in sewing for shirring dresses, like the gathering, that you actually sew in, like you put in your bobbin in your machine and sew it in. I have that kind of elastic, and I'm hoping that that's going to be substantial enough to run it all the way through the straps like all the way around, and kind of like tie it, probably like hide it in the straps and have the two ends and here and tie it in there and hope that that's gonna prevent further stretching or reduce the amount of stretching that seems to be happening in this area. Now, the good thing about the growth and the stretching that has happened is that I feel like the shaping that I did now hits me at like the right places along my waist and my butt. So I'll step back again, but you won't be able to hear me if I say anything because I'm kind of far from the mic. But oh, I gotta go quite a ways. So we can see I did my increases, and I think it follows my body pretty good. And those increases that I did in my back, I'll kind of point out the area, are right in here. So it's kind of like the small of your back. That's where I added those kind of extra increases when I was doing my increase rounds to get to my hip circumference. Yeah, so let me just quickly grab my notes to make sure I've covered everything or what else I need to cover for you guys. Other maybe criticisms of the pattern or this design. So the pattern is actually pretty straightforward. Of the PetiteKnit patterns, this is definitely one of the easier patterns to follow. And but I would say like this style, like nothing against PetiteKnit, like that's not really a negative on her part, but this kind of style of top with having such an I-cord strap and the way it cuts in is not bra strap friendly. Even if you want to cross your straps and do like a racer back, I think you would still see it in the back or like even here, like it's cutting in, cuts in quite a bit there. But I do have a strapless bra on right now, so if you're comfortable wearing a strapless bra, or those of you who are okay with no bra, then you're all good. So I did mention how the silk has stretched out, but the nice thing about the silk is that it does have a nice drape because of the weight of it too. Like, feel like it feels good. There's something about it being kind of like thicker. It is like a DK weight, but there's something kind of luxurious about that. And it actually is quite soft on the skin, even though when you're working up with this yarn, because there's no kind of like give to it as you're knitting it, but as a knit fabric on the body, it actually feels quite nice. I never felt too hot or cold. I mean, it was a nice kind of warm evening, warm night in Vancouver on Monday. So it was definitely appropriate for the event. And yeah, I think I have covered everything. Of course, as always, if you have more specific questions about the dress, go ahead and leave me a comment, or you can even message me directly on, say, Instagram or even Ravelry. I get people messaging me directly on Ravelry too. I do check those messages as well if you want to know any more specifics about what I did for construction wise there. But yeah, of course I am a little bit disappointed about the stretch, but I kind of expected it. I surprisingly like this color more than I thought I would, and it was silver enough. Like, I felt like I fit in at the concert, which was good, and I actually did get some compliments, and then let people know that I made it, and they're like, wow, you made that, really? It's like, yeah, I did. But I feel very dare I say, maybe a bit sexy in this dress because it shows just enough, but it's still conservative in that it's, you know, a high neckline. I feel like I could wear this to one of my husband's Christmas like work parties because it is a full length dress. I just wore sneakers to the concert also because I was standing the whole time and planning on dancing. Like, I am at the age where I don't really care if I like, I will wear sensible shoes now. I wear, you know, comfort brands now. Like, gone are the days where I'm gonna try to wear, you know, 3-inch stilettos to dance in all night. um, but yeah, I'm kind of hooked now. Like, I don't think I ever said would never knit a dress, but it definitely wasn't, yeah, priority or even in my queue or front of mind. But now I'm kind of hooked and I feel like I could do it again. Maybe not in 8 days. But speaking of that, the whole 8 days, so I knit an average about 4 days or 4 hours a day. So some days I only knit like the 2.5 hours, for example, the day that I went to Chilliwack and only knit in the car. But like the first day, I think I probably knit like 5 or 6 hours that day. But in terms of my timeline, I would guesstimate it was an average of 4 hours a day, 7 days, and then because the 8th day was just sewing in the hem, but I still count that as a day of working on the dress. But yeah, I feel like I quite like this um, um, this style, even though I don't get to wear a bra with a strap because that's my preferred thing. I kind of want to make another one. I would make it out of a yarn that's more of a blend. Like, I wouldn't do 100% silk again, but maybe I could do like a wool linen blend or something. All right, guys, I think I have covered everything and I'm in rambling territory, as always happens near the end. Thank you so, so much to everyone for watching this video. And wow, I still can't believe I knit a dress in 8 days. All for Beyonce. I did it for Beyonce. But yes, thank you so much, guys. And until the next video, happy knitting. Bye.